Welcome to the Let's Go podcast, where we help the leaders of entrepreneurial companies take their companies to the next level. Today, we're going to tackle the number one topic on the minds of CEOs everywhere. Whether you see the surveys from YPO, Vistage, McKinsey, Gartner, everyone's talking about it. It's the number one topic that keeps CEOs awake at night. And that topic is talent, access to talent, access and retaining amazing talent in today's market. Today, we're talking to talent whisperer, Amy Ancira, my colleague at HireBetter. Amy is managing director at HireBetter, and over her 20-year career, she's held leadership positions in executive search, recruitment process outsourcing, and strategic talent planning. Before HireBetter, she was a VP of client service and recruitment at Profound and also a recruiting manager at Tatum. Amy also has a degree from the University of Texas. Amy, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Kurt, for having me. This is a subject that I'm very passionate about, so I can talk about it all day. Thanks for bringing me on.
Awesome. We have got a 5-part mini-series for you guys today, where we're going to tackle talent and specifically how to hire better. I firmly believe that talent is the differentiator for high growth companies and helping you achieve or not achieve your goals. Today, we're going to talk about part 1, which is setting the foundation, aligning your talent strategy with your business strategy. Amy, let's talk a little bit about why it's so important to align your talent strategy with your business strategy. I know you've got a lot of experience with strategic talent planning at HireBetter. I also know you've been a recruiter for years. Tell me why I need to do more than just go out and find somebody.
That's a really good question, Kurt. When we talk about strategic talent planning, what we're talking about is really getting a clear understanding of what your long-term goals are, but then also understanding where are the gaps on your team so that you can build a talent roadmap that you can execute against and iterate upon.
So what you're saying is if I have 12 to 18 months and looking out to these hires I need to make, if I have 12 to 18 months to make a hire, I can make a great hire as opposed to what today's entrepreneurial companies typically do. And that is, react to whatever their need is at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we see, time and time again, is that companies that don't take that step back and really look at what is my long-term strategy and what does my long-term talent plan need to look like, they're hiring very reactively. And so they're not necessarily taking the time to hire the top talent. They're hiring what's readily available right now because their hair's on fire and they're in a panic rather than hiring the A player that's out there for that position.
I like that. And if you think about it, it's not really just for hiring. It's also for assessing your existing team to see who can step up, who needs to be moved into another seat, perhaps maybe an individual contributor seat, or maybe who needs to find greener pastures, so to speak.
Absolutely. And I think it's also a great opportunity for you to look at on my team, who needs coaching and training, because you might have somebody that's maybe not a CFO now, but they have the capability that they could step into that seat. If you get them the right training and development at the right time, the right mentorship and coaching, you might have that ability to build your team as well as add to your team, which is so important right now.
I really like the strategic approach to it, Amy, because so often we're called in because someone needs a CFO or CMO or whatever the title may be. But until we really understand what the rest of that picture looks like, what skills other members of the team have, we may have a different assessment of what the needs are based on what the rest of the team looks like.
Absolutely. And that's something that we've discovered, repeatedly over the years, is that a client might think they need something because they're taking a very, I don't want to say myopic, but they're taking a small view. And when you really step back and look at the entirety of the organization and assess the individual team members, you really get a better sense of who can step in and what are the required skill sets that I need somebody to step in with, rather than pulling a job description from Google and just and making assumptions. You're right sizing based on the specifics for the roles that you're trying to fill.
That's funny. I can't tell you how many times I've seen some job description just amalgamated from all these wish lists of things. It really becomes a wish list at the end of the day. And it's really what they think they need, not what they truly need. And that's the biggest thing I've seen from entrepreneurial companies is knowing exactly what they should hire versus what they think they need to hire.
Absolutely.
So Amy, it makes it sound like recruiting is really table stakes. Like recruiting is half the battle, but the other half of the battle is really understanding what you truly need now and in the future.
I would absolutely agree with that. I think that one of the biggest issues that we see is, as you said, that reactivity and really taking the step back and looking at what are my long-term goals, then better understanding what are my short-term goals allows you to really paint a more complete picture for what does my company need to look like right now versus 6 months from now versus a year, 18 months from now.
Awesome, Amy. Anything else you'd like to add as far as setting the foundation?
I guess if there's anything that I could say around setting the foundation, it's take the time. That's one of the things that we see that most companies don't do. They're so busy in what you call the tyranny of the urgent. I've heard you use that term over and over the years. They're so busy with the tyranny of the urgent that they don't take the time to really step back and plan. And so then they're constantly in a state of the tyranny of the urgent because they haven't put the plans in place that they need to.
Amy, tell us one takeaway from this episode, aligning your talent strategy with your business strategy.
My big takeaway is take the time, do the planning, and commit the time to making sure you understand your business strategy and your talent strategy.
Amy, I love it. Thank you so much for joining us today for part one, which is aligning your talent strategy with your business strategy. Joining us next time, where we're going to talk about setting the foundation, where we get into mission, vision, culture, core values, all those important things to making your company attractive to great talent. If you guys need any help with any of the stuff we talked about today, please reach out to me, Kurt at HireBetter.com, or amy.ancira, ANCIRA at HireBetter.com.